Welcome to County Portal, your simple source for local government services and public records. Let's get started.
What percentage of restraining orders are actually granted in the United States? This is a common question, but the answer is more complex than a single number because the legal process typically happens in two distinct stages. It's crucial to understand these two steps to get the full picture. First, there's the temporary restraining order, often called a TRO or an emergency protective order. This is the initial, immediate step. A person, the petitioner, goes before a judge, often without the other party present, in what's called an ex parte hearing. They present their reasons for fearing for their safety. Because the primary goal here is immediate protection and preventing harm, the burden of proof is relatively low. The judge is essentially asking if there's a credible, immediate threat. For this reason, a very high percentage of temporary restraining orders are granted. Studies and legal experts often place this number anywhere from 75% to over 90%, depending on the jurisdiction and the specifics of the case. The system is designed to err on the side of caution at this stage. But that temporary order only lasts for a short period, usually a couple of weeks. This leads to the second, more critical stage, the hearing for a permanent or final restraining order. This is a full court hearing where both the petitioner and the respondent are present. Both sides have the opportunity to present evidence, bring witnesses, and argue their case before the judge. Here, the standard of proof is higher. The petitioner must prove, typically by a preponderance of the evidence, that the ongoing protection is necessary. This basically means showing it's more likely than not that the harassment, abuse, or stalking occurred and is likely to continue. Because of this higher standard and the presence of both parties, the grant rate for permanent restraining orders is lower than for temporary ones. National statistics are hard to consolidate, but various studies suggest that between 50% and 70% of cases that go to a final hearing result in a permanent order being granted. The percentage drops from the temporary stage for several reasons. Sometimes the petitioner doesn't show up for the final hearing, they may not have enough concrete evidence like texts, photos, or police reports to meet the higher legal standard, or the judge, after hearing both sides, may not be convinced the order is legally justified. So, while getting an initial temporary order is highly likely, securing a long-term permanent order requires a much stronger case. Thank you so much for watching and for wanting to understand this important legal topic. If you found this information helpful and want more clear explanations of complex subjects, please consider subscribing to the channel.